Tidy Pops, welcome back to my channel. Or welcome to my channel if you're new around here. Let's get into it. So in today's video, we are doing a challenge. The challenge is everything has to be pink. If it's not pink, it's not allowed in. That's the rule. It meant that every aspect of this house had to have a pink context to it. I'm talking the windows, the toilet, the wallpaper, the floors, even down to the house's exterior. At first I was a little bit nervous because I thought, am I going to have to include a lot of custom content? Is this going to be quite boring to do? Or even is it going to turn out nice? Is it just going to be one block of colour? However, The Sims 3, it pulled through again, didn't it? With the custom paint tool, I was able to make sure that every little detail of my house was different. I was able to incorporate different shades of pink. I had coral pink, dark pink, baby pink, neon pink, any pink you can think of. I think it's in the house, trust me. This allowed the house to be a bit more creative, and it allowed every room to have a kind of different feel about it, which turned out really nice in the end. One aspect I did notice about the house is it has a little bit of a similar layout to the house I did before. And if I'm honest, I was talking to my partner about this and I was thinking, is it a British girl problem? Is it because every house layout in England has a similar structure to it? I'm talking when you walk through the front door, you tend to have the stairs in front of you, living room on the side leading into the kitchen. And I'm thinking, when I've watched American or other different types of Sims 3 creators, they seem to have these big extravagant houses. They seem to have different layouts and different platforms and different room ideas. I think I'm a bit stuck in my ways. I think I need a few inspiration ideas where I can look at different floor layouts, because it just seems to be a bit samey, if you know what I mean. The kitchen, I was really excited to do. I was excited to incorporate pink kitchen worktops. I know if I was allowed to, my kitchen would definitely be pink right now. However, I really liked the dark shades of pink on the wood furniture. I think that turned out really, really nice. Also, I'm a really big fan of the wall tiles. However, I think you might know what I'm going to say. Have I gotten away with them floor tiles? I thought it was really cute. There's a kind of a bubblegum kind of look to it. I thought, I love it. How cute. But you could argue that floor's not pink. It's not fully pink. Now, if we all want to pick it apart, sure, I'll hold my hands up. We'll have to try a different challenge. But I think it looks cute in the end. Leading on to the living room. Now, the living room I was excited about, and I kind of knew what vibe I wanted to go for. I wanted to have a girly, cozy vibe living room, and I was really excited to adjust the wallpapers. Now, I really liked how the stripes turned out at the bottom of the wallpaper, but looking back now, I feel like the middle part of the wallpaper is a little bit purpley, if I'm being really picky. But I don't know, I think I might just be being picky. Like I said, I wanted that cozy feel and I wanted a fireplace, but the layout of the living room was just too rectangular for my liking. It didn't allow me to try and keep everything in a kind of a close setting to keep it that cozy feel. So I played around with a few sofas, I played around with a few chairs, and I knew I wanted to go for kind of a royal looking chair look. And at first I wanted to go against the wall, and I was testing it out. Trust me, over time I spent ages on the living room. I'm talking, this was the most I spent on any room. I was testing out different chairs because I knew what I wanted in my head, but I couldn't put it down on the screen. But then I settled on a few chairs, I had a go. But I don't know about you, you're going to look and go, it just looks a bit plain, it looks a bit serial killer like. And I did notice that, which you will notice in a minute. I changed a few things around to try and make it a little bit less stale, if I'm honest. Living room, if I'm honest, I think it needs to be a bit more cluttered. I think that's what one aspect about The Sims 4 I actually quite like, is it includes a lot of different objects to allow rooms to have that cozy feel, that actual someone's living in that house and there's objects everywhere. That's one part I do like about The Sims 4. But The Sims 3, you can always add a few little bits randomly. But in this challenge, I was just so concentrated on the idea that everything has to be pink. I think I kind of missed that part out, if I'm honest. So, That then led me on to change the living room round, seeing what I liked, because it just felt a little bit rigid, and it allowed me to add a little dining room area in, which I absolutely loved in the end. Also, how cute are these little candle lights? Once I have seen these, I actually want them myself. If I could have them myself, trust me, I would. Once I'd finished with the living room, I just went in, added all the little boring bits in, you know, the bits that everyone dreads, the doorways, the archways, making sure it is actually practical to live in. Once I had finished with the main parts of the room, I then went on to the bathroom. Now, first, before the challenge started, I was really excited to do a pink bathroom. But it turned out quite dark, the upstairs and the downstairs bathroom. Obviously, I think that is partly my fault, looking back, seeing every single part of the bathroom I've clicked dark. But I don't know, it just seemed a little bit boring, a little bit in the corner, out the way. Not much love has been put into it. But if I'm honest, I do find bathrooms the most boring part of building. However, do you know how frustrated I was? I could adjust every detail apart from that bloody toilet roll. That could have been the end of it for me. Downstairs was complete and I moved on to the upstairs. Like I said, I wanted it kind of that loft conversion look, and I wanted it stairs to lead straight into a bedroom with a little ensuite on the side. Really, really happy with how the bedroom turned out in the end. I sat there for ages customising the wallpaper to make sure I had every little detail down to the petal and the flower on the wallpaper personalised into a different shade of pink, and it looked so nice in the end. Again, for this room, I noticed how dark downstairs felt, so I wanted to make sure the upstairs was a little bit brighter. So I went for mostly a baby pink for the bedroom, and it was really cute. However, again, looking back, that floor, is it purple? Have I gotten away with that floor? Because I'm looking back now thinking that looks a little bit lilac-y to me. Have I gotten away with it? Is it another floor drama? I don't know. Let me know. Once I had finished with a few parts in the bedroom, I then decided adding just a few objects, and I love the fact you can customise a TV. I remember having a pink TV when I was little. Once we've added in a few accessories, just if I'm honest, fill up a little bit of space. It felt like everything's quite blocky in The Sims 3. So everything kind of tends to go in a corner and just sit there, where I think I do need to add a few more accessories. But look at the rug. Look how cute this rug ends up turning out. It was my favourite part of the house. Once I was happy with the bedroom, I then went on to creating the bathroom. Now the bathroom I tried to make a little bit brighter with the floor tiles, but again that wallpaper is a little bit too dark, I think. So I copied a few bits from the downstairs bathroom because I really liked the sinks, the rug and the toilet, and I think it lightened it up a little bit. However, again, unfortunately, it did turn out a little bit too dark and it was not my favourite room. Once I'd finished with the interior, I then went on to the exterior. Did I spend 35 minutes playing around with the roof? Yes. However, in the end, it turned out really cute, and I was even able to have a pink roof. Look at that. Spent another 25 minutes on bloody windows. Played around with a few until I got the ones I wanted, and I thought they were really nice because they seemed to heighten up and stretch up the walls, which looked really cute in the end. Once I added them in and played around, trying to get them exactly where I wanted, I found that British houses seem to have a lot of symmetry with their windows, which might have flared my OCD for this house. The exterior of that house might be my favourite. It turned out really cute. And I know if this house was on the end of my street, I think I'd try and walk past it every single day. Or try and move in. So, there it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the challenge. And let me know. Recommend me any ideas, floor layouts, different challenges. Let me know what you want to see. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys.